print the name. But before this, there's one more important. Many people were asking about this, right? So how to print the decimal places, right? There is a one more way to do it. For example, 11 by 3 we have divided, right? So 11 by 3. Suppose I want to round it to two decimals. Round it to two decimal places. Two decimal places. Okay. So suppose this is the syntax. So you can use round function, which is an inbuilt function. So for round function, you have to pass the values. So round 11 by 3, then I will pass the how many decimals I want, right? Now you can see 11 by 3 is rounded to two decimal places. Now before this statement, all of you need to compare the print statement with your scanf, which you are learning in, in printf, your printf. In generally in C language, what we do, we use %d format specifier. Suppose the same thing I want to do it in C means 11 by 3 round it to two decimal places, correct? So this is how we do it in C. Then we pass the number, whatever the number I'm printing, and we put semicolon. So this is the syntax in C. Whereas here I'm not using any format specifier, right? So directly we are printing the value without using format specifier. So in Python, no need to use format specifiers, right? Until and unless there are different ways to do it. So generally we don't use it. We only mention the values to be printed directly in the printf. And if there is a string that we need to print, that has to be embedded inside the double quotes. So see here, this is a string that I want to print. So that entire thing should come under double quotes. Then after that comma operator, what is the value that you want to print? That has to be written. So you can concatenate as many values as you want to. So whatever the string you want to print, embed inside the double quotes, and variables you have to write it directly without any quotes, right? This is one thing you should be able to do it. So this is one way. Another way is if I don't want to use round function. Suppose initially you don't know what is round function. So I will give another way, round it to two decimal places. Example. Here I have done three decimal places, right? So this has to be 3. So here I will round it to two decimal places. Okay. Now in Python, if you want to use format specifier, right? So you have to embed that inside the flower bracket. So here I'm using two flower brackets. Inside that colon 0.2f, right? 0.2f. Then after the double quotes, you have to put dot format. So this is the syntax all of you should remember. So I'm not giving you the syntax and then the code. So this is the syntax. Whenever I'm mentioning the word syntax, you have to remember that. Okay. So dot format. So after double quote, dot, then format, then whatever the value you want to pass. Okay. So there is some syntax error. So we have to understand where is the error. 11 by 3. Rounded to two decimal places. 0.2f. So what is the mistake here? This is the printf, right? So this is not allowed in Python. So I'll delete this. Okay. So now you can check. This is the one way. This is another way. So like this, you have to explore multiple options. Whatever you can grab it, understand it, you can follow it, right? So this is also alternative way of using the format specifier. So this is the string that I want to print directly on the screen, and this is the syntax. So I'll be giving a lot of such examples right now. Just remember colon 0.2f. So before colon, I didn't write anything. That means I don't want to give any restriction on the integer part, but I want to give the restriction on the decimal part. So 0.2f means I want to display only two decimals. F indicates the floating point value. Dot format. This is again I will use in a lot of programs. Dot format. So it is one of the string formatting function which you can use it for this kind of formatting. Right. So this is another way to restrict your decimal places. Now, moving on to the how to use it differently, right? The print function again. So what do you want to print? The name of the layer is. Now here I'm just writing double quotes. I mean empty flower brackets, then I'm closing the double quotes, then dot format. So I'm just using dot format for which I'm passing the name of the variable. So here I need not to mention manually like percentages, which you used to do it in C. So like percentages we have to write now. So no need to use percentages, like percentages. So this is not needed to print any string value. All that you need to do is just print the empty flower brackets, then dot format you can write. Is that are you understanding? So this is the empty flower bracket I'm writing. Then after that dot format, the name. The name is the variable where the value is stored. So these are the different ways to format your output messages. So further we will explore few more formatting your output in Python. What are the different ways? Right. So suppose I don't have any variable value. I just want to print the two different string messages, right? So what I will do is like this, I will just display them separately as a two separate strings, right? So this is the first string, this is the second string. So you might have observed there is one question where I also want to print the special characters. Suppose there is a special character like this. Okay, so you can directly print them. Now I want this double quotes also in my output. For example, before this WhatsApp, I want to also print this double quotes. So how will you print these double quotes? You have to press the backslash button to print the special characters as it is onto the screen. So before this double quotes, again one more backslash, then end your entire string in the end. So all this together, we are making it as a single string, right? Now you can observe this double quotes is appearing as it is on the screen. So I'm just hiding the internal meaning of the double quotes. All of you know that double quotes is used to print the string on the output. Now I want double quote itself in the output means we have to escape the internal meaning of that. For that we have to use backslash operator. Backslash operator. Okay. So here before double quotes I am printing backslash. So that will be printed as it is on the screen. Similarly, for example, I want to print something like VR. This is one string. Learning Python. For example, this is another string. So two separate strings within print I am writing. Then you can use something like separator, for example, SCP. So SCP is the inbuilt operator. You can just write whatever you want within that double quotes inside the separate operator. Now you can check there is a dotted lines that are coming up before the first string and second string. So ACP means separator. So I want to separate these two strings by these dotted lines. So you can use separator for that matter. Suppose I don't want to use separator, I want to use new line character. Then something like this. Okay. So here you can check. VR is printed on the first line. Then after that, there is two new lines are created. And then there is a slash T. Slash T means tab space. So 6 tab spaces are added here after VR is printed. So like this, you can use these functions to customize your output based on the requirement. So similarly, There's another way to use how to display, I mean, how to format your output. So that is called as formatting using percentage operator. Okay. But generally outdated. This is outdated. So just for a knowledge purpose, not used in Python 3. Python 3 means Python 3 is the recent version of the Python. So how to check your Python version also you can see. And there is a way to do it. So for example, there is an inbuilt library for Python version checking called as SYS. Then if you print something like this SYS dot version, you will be able to see the Python version. So what is the Python version in my laptop is 3.11. That is the uh, Python 1, 2, 3. Those are the versions. And within 3, there are multiple subversions, right? So for Python 3 onwards, so people are not using this percentage operator. Understood? Now, how to do formatting using percentage operator? So all these are alternatives or the outdated methods, which were before Python 3, people used to do it. For example, I want to print some integer value. So observe what I'm doing on the screen. Then I want to print float value. Seven comma. So what is happening here? Let me take a query. So can anyone guess what is happening in this based on whatever I've written on the cell? So try to analyze this code and tell me what is happening in that code. Yes, you can print directly, but I'm just using format is used to uh, output for a lot of different type of output formatting. If you are having only single variable, then no need of format. But in coming sessions, you will come to know how powerful that format method is. Yes, so I want you to understand. Try to analyze what is this code. Yes, same as like we do in C. But what is that we have done here? Observe what is 03D, what is 5.2F. So as I told in today sessions, like tomorrow also I'll be visiting all your first year labs and I'll be talking to you guys in the remaining sessions. But my suggestion is you have to give importance to every single line that I'm typing on the screen and understand what is happening in the code. So you have to give careful attention to the syntactical rules, right? So don't by heart the codes. You have to understand. So here percentage 03D, that is a format specifier. So what I'm doing here is I'm reserving 3 decimal places for the number. And if I don't have the enough decimal places, I will substitute the remaining values with a 0, correct? And here also my overall length of the number is 5. In that 5, I'm reserving 2 places for the floating point value, right? So that is the meaning. So this is called as conditional formatting. So conditional formatting. So sometimes in your test case, you'll be having these kind of rules. Your output should be only storing maximum 5 digits or maximum 2 decimals. So they will be giving this kind of constraints. So this is one more way of printing the output using percentage operator. So the syntax is you have to use percentage. Inside that you have to, with the separated comma, you have to mention the number of values that you want to print. So here I've given 345.6757, but it is truncated to only 2 decimal places. But overall width is 5 only. Suppose if I write 05, and here if I don't have the enough number, so what is happening here? So I have changed it to 05, percentage 05.2F, and my number is 5.67. Correct. So we don't have enough numbers to print for the remaining integer value. So it is substituting 0 for that, right? And it is truncating it to 68. So like that, you can customize your output messages. So overall, it is maximum width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including dot, it is 5. So you can count maximum width is 5. Suppose let me change it to 7. What is happening here? Can you check? There is some extra spaces getting added, right? So as and when I'm increasing the integer part value, there is extra space is getting added here because that is the overall length I'm reserving for that number. Suppose I'll write 020f, 20.2f. Now you can see that entire value is substituted with 0 because we don't have enough integer values to support that condition. So if I keep increasing this value, you will see the updated values, right? So as how long I have that, as long as I have that enough decimals to print, it will display. Remaining values, it will just substitute with zeros. So this is called as conditional formatting. So sometimes you have to be able to do this kind of output formatting also. Got it? But as I told you, most of the people are not using this in Python 3 because again, it is similar to your C language and we don't want to remember this percentage 03D and all. So for that purpose, they are using formatting using format method, inbuilt format method. Okay. So using format method, there are a lot of ways to do it. So we'll see one by one. Okay. Suppose I don't have any variables and I just want to display the values as it is using format method. So as somebody asked, sir, why can't I directly print the name? Yes, you can directly print the name. For example, I want to print Virat Kohli as it is. You can print as it is. This is one way to do it. But what I'm teaching is how to utilize the format method. So through the format method, you have to be able to customize your output. So that you have to learn. So here, as I told you, you need to use empty flower brackets for mentioning the specifiers without mentioning the actual value, just empty brackets. Then after that, dot format. Right, in dot format. So what I'm doing here is I'm mentioning the values. For example, what I want to type. Tell me any values. For example, of Python. Then great, something like this. So observe here carefully. Here I'm directly mentioning the string. What is the difference here? Can anyone tell me between this string and this string? What is the difference? Yeah, anyone? Quotes. Very good. Single and double quotations. So what do you understand by that? So is it mandatory to use always single quotes or is it mandatory to use always double quotes? So there is no compulsion as such. You can use single quotes also or double quotes also based on your understanding. But there is no compulsion in Python. But in C, you get a lot of errors if you don't use single quotes at the place where it is required or double quotes at that place if it is not allowed also. So in that matter, C is sensitive, but Python is a bit flexible about it, right? So you need not worry about whether you're using single quotes or double quotes. It will be considered as a string only. Now let me change the order. Here I will write great. Here I'll write Python. What will be your output? So great time Python, right? So obviously this first double quote is associated with the first string in the format method. Second double quote is associated with the second string in the format specifier. Now I'll mention the value here. Suppose I'll write to 1, then here I'll write 0. Okay, so what you're getting now? You can use for integers also. In the coming sessions, when I use the format specifier for different problems, you'll be able to understand it. But meanwhile, you can explore. So see, how to do the self-learning is based on whatever the hint I'm giving, you have to further explore it. So format method, I'm explaining the basic concept. But you guys need to go one step ahead and see what and all you can do with the format method. That is called as self-learning. So all of you should become self-learners. That means you need some guidance that we will provide you. Based on our guidance, you have to keep exploring the things. So it is easy. It is not much difficult. Python, it's very easy to explore and see the documentation, check what is the rules, what are the syntaxes I need to understand. But all that you need is what to learn. What are the content I have to learn for my placement, my training. So that we will provide you. Problems will provide you. But you guys need to understand basics, whatever I'm explaining. Then based on that knowledge, you can further explore it. Now, what is that I've done change here is I have mentioned some values. Yes, negative numbers. Manoj Kumar. So this is what this kind of questions, instead of asking me, you can try. So generally, when I was a student, I used to do this kind of thing. So I always used to get lot of doubts, but I never used to depend on any one, no, one material or one faculty. So I used to trial and error I used to do. So can we provide negative numbers is the question. So immediately you have to explore and try that. If it allows, fine. If it don't allow, you are learning. Correct. So key error. So you can't put negative values inside the flower bracket. So I hope that doubt is clear. But keep getting these doubts, and whenever you are getting these doubts, try it immediately. So don't just blindly ask someone and leave it there. All the doubts you have to cross verify manually by yourself. Understood? Now, uh, so you can mention the order of the output based on your requirement by using the integer values, positive integer values inside the flower bracket. So I'll give one more example. For example, I'll write my name is, and I teach, for example, something I'm writing, Python, and my that number is, right. So once I format my string, immediately you have to close with the double quotes. See, already it is coming automatically by default, so you need not to write manually. Then dot format. Dot is very important. If you ignore the dot, you will again get a lot of syntactical errors. So dot format, then I will write some values inside. Then Python, then something I'll write phone number. Okay. So this is the default order. So here my string is bit extended. I have 3 empty braces. After my name is, I have given one empty brace. That means the value that should come here depends on the value that I'm providing in the dot format. So here there are 3 parameters. This is the first parameter, second and third. By default, that is the order. So first empty brace is replaced with my name, and okay, here only I written Python, and I teach Python. Again, that is the second string which is replaced here. And my contact number is, again, this is the third number. Now, if I change the order here to 1, 0, you will see altogether a different output. Correct? Now, at this place, I'm getting my phone number, and here I'm getting as it is Python. And at the contact number, I'm getting this Arun Kumar. So this is the thing you need to be very careful about, because if you mention the numbers, you should know what is the corresponding order. So order also you have to be carefully writing. So this is the default order, and default order is as per your empty braces. But if you manually mention it, then you should be mentioning it carefully where exactly you want to print that value. So that's how you can customize your output using format method. Hope you understood this, right? So you can write empty brace wherever you want to, but for that corresponding value should be there. Now, for example, I'll remove this phone number. Now, why this error is coming for me? I'm getting index error. So what is this error? Can anyone tell me? What is this error? Yes, anyone? Index 2. So I think Chat box is not visible to anyone, right? Are you able to see chat box in your screen? Okay, so the reason I have hidden is like you can freely ask the doubts without worrying about what others will feel. Okay, so chat box is hidden so that anyone can uh, write the queries in the chat box without worrying about why I'm asking, who is asking. Okay. So numbers in the bracket, only two values are assigned. There are two strings but flower bases, insufficient arguments, right? So one input is less. Correct. So most of you are able to understand what is the issue there. So this you need to be very careful. So if you write three empty braces, that means you have to provide three values inside the dot format here. So since there are only two values here and three empty flower brackets here, that means compiler is not able to understand what to print for the third brace, right? So replacement index 2 out of range for positional arguments tuple. So you need not to look too much deep into this, but by understanding index 2 you can get some idea. So by default this is 0 1 2. Let me write 0 1 2. So 0 1, instead of 2 I'll write 1 here. Okay, now tell me why it is working. Yes, so value is more than required, which is resulting in the index to be out of range. Very good, a lot. Now though there are three flower braces, still I'm getting the output on the screen. Now anyone can tell me what is the reason? Previously, I told you for three flower brackets, you should have three corresponding values in the format method. But here I only have two, but still it is working. What is that I've changed here? So Kirti is telling, since the index are assigned, we need not worry. Yes, very good. For two brackets, same index is given. So this is how you need to experiment yourself, right? Sufficient index is there. So the same value you want to repeat it at the multiple places, then you need not to worry about how many variables I have. The single value can come at the multiple locations. Correct. So like this, you should experiment yourself and understand the basics, right? So there is no single way to learn the coding. You have to ask the doubts like how you people are getting these doubts. You have to ask that yourself while practicing, then experiment with the code. Does it work? If I change this, what will happen? If I add extra line, what will happen? So like that, you have to experiment and learn. Okay. So that is always a good way of doing self-learning. So by this, what you understood is default order of the, the variables is from left to right. Left to right means whatever I start from double quotes in that order, it will go to the next location. Okay. So that is a format specifier. Now, similarly, somebody asked, can we use format specifier for printing the integers also, right? So let's explore that. How to use format method to work with numbers, right? So I want to work with numbers. Fine. So suppose I have to deal with the numbers. So this is a bit confusing. I want all of you to give careful attention what I'm doing on the screen. So wait until I type and uh, give you the hint what you have to carefully observe. Then once I complete my typing, I'll take your queries. Suppose I'm typing roll number and I want to print percentage of a student. So row number 0 comma d and percentage. Okay. Then I want to do something. Row number that it is 4 5 6 7 percentages, something like this. Okay. Now, in a similar way, like percentage operator, somewhere we learned here, right? So percentage operator. Yeah. So this is a similar way, but instead of using percentage and the traditional way of C language, we are using again brackets. So what I'm doing here is I'm not reserving any number of fixed integers for the given roll number. It can extend as long as possible. And for percentage also, I'm not giving any particular condition. So let me suppose. So replacement index out of range. Now tell me what is happening here. Suppose I'll write 0 here. First observe what I typed initially. So you're getting roll number as 4567 and percentage as 7.67. So let me truncate it to 2-digit. So how will you truncate it to 2-digit? Will you write just 2f or 0.2f? If you just write 2f, you're not getting the output. So you have to be very careful with this syntaxes. So you have to write 0.2f. Okay. Now carefully observe this example. Tell me what is happening. So initially, as I told you, if you want to mention the order, you have to write the order of the number. So 0 indicates the order. Whatever the first number here, that number will be printed as it is. Suppose I'll change this 0 to 1. Tell me why this error is coming. Unknown format code D for object type float. Tell me what is the reason for this. Anyone? So let me take the query. Index there should be 0. Okay. Some people are telling index start from 0. Okay. Okay. So for some, yes, now I'm getting the right answers. So D is for integers. See, some people are getting still doubt. So many people think it is because of 0, right? So some people have mentioned that, sir, D is an integer, but we need float because 1 is having a float value. That is the correct answer. So what is the mistake here? D indicates integer value, percentage D, as you know already. So, but I'm not writing percentage D in Python. I can directly write D. So colon is basically separating the order of the values, then what data it is. So 1 indicates the order of the value based on the format method, and D indicates the format specifier. Now the problem here is I mentioned that the data should be D, that means integer, but I'm passing 1 as the order. So what is the position at first place? It is a floating point value. So there is a mismatch in the data type, correct? So that is why we are getting this unknown format code D for the object type float. So if you're writing D, you have to pass integer only, correct? Now how to overcome this? Let me make it as float. Now we are getting the answer, right? So now roll number is coming as 75.678760 and percentage is also coming as 75.68 because for both the for flower brackets, what is the order I have passed? 1 only. So that you need to be very careful. So here I'll write 0. Now there is no issue because though it is an integer, it can be converted to float by default by the compiler. So default conversion will happen by the compiler. Whereas percentage 0.2f, this is as it is, right? So this is how you need to work with the format specifier. So now same thing, let me duplicate it. I'll modify a little bit. 060, I'll write 060. And here I'll write 1 colon 0. Let me take the value as 7. Okay. So 1 colon 07.2f. Okay, now tell me what is the change that happened. Compare this output and tell me what you are observing. Take your time, no problem. Understand the syntaxes. Width is filling out with 0, correct? So basically we are setting out or fixing the width for the given numbers. So I got only one answer. Kirti is telling width is filling out with 0, right? So any other answers you have, please let me know. Okay, so here what I am trying to do. So I am fixing the width of a number for the first value, that is 4567 is my width, but I want at least 6 digit for that number. But if there are no enough values to support that 6 digit, remaining digit will be filled with 0. Correct? So that kind of constraints also you should be very careful. Then similarly for the second value, I am fixing the overall width as 7 decimal, including the dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct? Then for the floating point value, I'm truncating it to 2 decimals. Now here also I only have 2 digit here, 75. I don't have enough digits to support the entire width. The remaining digits are filled with 0. So all these are called as custom output formatting. So you should be able to remember this kind of custom formatting based on the test cases. Hope you understood this. Now, this is the exact format specifier or the format method which we are using in Python 3 version, and we are replacing that with the percentage operator, right? So percentage operator, you can learn it, but don't use it because many people are not using it anymore. All of them are using dot format because it is more easy to understand compared to this one, because it's a bit clumsy to follow up. Again, because it the syntax looks much like C language, so it is outdated in Python 3. So let's see some more example. For example, I'll write some text string. For example, Virat scored. Now this is called as custom formatting. I want exactly like this in the output. Then this is the variable I've declared. See, the brackets can be used even in the string also. So it is not mandatory that you have to use this flower bracket inside print only. You can use it within a string when you are declaring it. So that means you can embed flower bracket and customize your output within the double quotes. It need not be always inside the print statement. Now, text variable I'm using. Then for the text, I'm calling the format method. So till now you saw only dot format. That means this entire thing is considered as a string. Now I don't want to write this entire string. I want to store this string inside the variable txt. Then that I want to pass as a parameter. So now inside the print statement, I'm using txt dot format. Inside the format, let me write something. Writing so many values, so don't get confused. One, two, three, four. Okay. So now observe this output and tell me why I'm getting this output. Anyone? Take your time. So these are also MCQ questions. Sometimes they will give these syntaxes as MCQ questions in your interview rounds or placement exams. So you should be able to predict why the output is like this or what is the corresponding code for that particular output. So they will say, I want to get this output. What is the code you will write? So this is the code that you will be writing. Correct? Anyone? What is why we are getting this only this one? Though I have a lot of other options. Okay. So let me take the answers because index is 4, fourth index. Index 4 contains value. Vedansh, Nandini, Ashok, Amulya, Yuvraj, Abdul. Okay, so a lot of people are getting the. Praveen is getting it wrong. Index is easy. 6 he is mentioning. Manoj Kumar is telling 0 indexing. Yes, so most of you are getting it right. Praveen, Amsika, Tej, right. So that's how you should learn. You have to understand what I'm doing. That is a proper learning. So whenever you are not understanding, please let me know. Sir, please explain once again, or you can mention that in chat box. Okay. So as your friends got it. So what does this 4:D indicates is 4 is the order in the format. That means I have a lot of options to choose from this format. It is need not to be all the values, but I want to choose any one value. So value that I'm choosing is the fourth value. So starting from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means fourth value I want to print, and D is indicates it is an integer value. So this is called as custom formatting. Yes, it is the index number. Yes, because here I'm separating from print, the variable is separate and the print is separate. So it is a default indexing is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So fourth value is 56657. Sorry, not 4. Sorry. This is the value. So starting index is 0 only, like what we did here. So I got confused here. Yeah. So let me change these values a little bit. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So fourth value is what I'm getting. So index position is always 0. Yes, Harika, I hope you understood. So this is the custom formatting. 4 indicates the order in which I want to print the output based on the parameters I passed inside the format. So there are 5 values here, correct? Not 5, 6 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 6, I want to print fourth value at this position. Virat's code 4:D runs. That means I want to print fourth value. So what is my fourth value? Fourth value is this 897656 starting from the index 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how we can customize our output. Okay. So anyone who didn't understand? Any doubts? So similarly, let us take another example for your doubt clarification. Okay. So here one more example I am taking. See, if you practice daily, you will be improving your typing speed also. I've seen a lot of people will struggle to type the codes even when they are in third year, second year. So how fast you write your codes, all your syntax errors, helps you to solve the company interview problems in the less time, because hardly most of the companies will give you 2 hours, 3 hours maximum time. So within that, you should be solving 3, 4 problems. You have to be very quick in typing the code and solving your syntax errors. So try to improve your typing speed. Definitely, it will help you in future. Okay. So now what I am trying to do is I can also set the custom field, custom variable, which helps us to do whatever I want to print on the output. Okay. So txt2 dot format. So here I will write field again. Okay. So what you are observing, just observe this code and let me know what is the change compared to whatever you have seen till now. Start from here, go to this one, and then check this one, third one, this cell, whatever the cell I am highlighted. Uh, Let me know what you understood by this code. What is happening in the code basically. variable. Okay. 0 is the index and in field contains data scientist. Any other answers? Pranav, Satya, I could not understand 06D. So Pranav, 06D means you are reserving six digits of decimal integer values for that number. And if there are no enough numbers to print, the remaining value should be substituted with 0. Right? So here 4, 5, 6, 7, I have only 4 digits, but my length should be exactly 6 digit. So since I don't have enough numbers to print, the remaining values will be printed with 0. So that's why 004567 is getting printed. Okay, fine. So with this code, anyone, any other answers? Using same variable to print different inputs. So Devika got it right. Devika Chinta, using same variable. Field is replaced in text to Yuvraj. Okay. So here we can set our custom variable name instead of 0, 1, 2. So previously we saw 0, 1, 4 and all those variable values, right? So instead of that, I can decide on one fixed value and I can use that fixed value in my output. So here for the first printf statement, I am fixing field value as data scientists. Then whenever I'm using that particular field value, right? So for that particular string, txt string, the field value will be replaced with the data scientist. So similarly for text 2, the field value I have changed it to Python engineers. So for this particular string, this field value is replaced by Python engineers, right? So like this also, if you don't like this zero indexing and all, you can customize your own variable. Field value, you can set it. Not just field, you can write your name also. For example, suppose I'll write Pavani. Here also I'll write Pavani. What you have to do, you have to make change here. This has to become so. Is there any change in the output? All right. So here also you are getting Pavani. So basically it is just a variable name. You can set your own name also. Got it? So the field name right now is Pavani. So wherever Pavani is there, that is replaced with data scientist. Here also for the second string, that this Pavani is replaced with Python engineers. Sir, what if we enter different texts in the brackets? So that I want you guys, next question was that only. What if you enter different text in the brackets? Now, based on those circumstances, this won't work, correct? So this is only for some questions where you want to save your time instead of using indexing. So you try that different text kind of output and let me know what is the problem you're facing right now. So that you can explore, guys. Yeah. So the question is, what will be done if we enter different text in the brackets? Correct? Different text. Suppose if you want to enter different text here, you can change it to whatever you want to. For example, Abhishek is the name. Here also you have to put Abhishek because I want for text to string, whatever that value for Abhishek is should be replaced by the corresponding value, right? So Abhishek is my uh, field name and the corresponding value is Python values. So this also will work. But again, it is not used always, but you can use this feature also in Python based on your requirement. Okay. Then you can combine concatenation, basic concatenation. I think all of you know it. Suppose I want to concatenate two strings, right? You can just use plus operator and you can just concatenate using plus operator. Suppose I want to give space between both the strings, you can just add a space before the plus operator here. So you will be able to get that concatenated value, right? So somebody asked me one more thing today, like formatting using f-string method. Formatting using f-string method. Okay. So this is right now, don't use this f-string method in Moodle. So that's my clear instruction. Doesn't work in Moodle, but you can use it in Jupyter Notebook because it's a new feature that is there in Python 3. So I have to check in coming days. I will try to enable it in Moodle also. Right now, don't use it in Moodle F-string method. So that's why I highlighted here. So remember that F-string method, you can use it in any online compiler also, even in Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, you can use it. But in Moodle, it won't work. So how to format your output using F-string method? That is one more question, right? So suppose I have data like this. Okay, so I want to print this data using F-string method. So you have to use print again. Within the print, I have to use F keyword followed by the string that you want to print. Now the advantage with the F-string method is you can directly mention the variable name inside the flower bracket. Unlike previously, here what I want to print name is, what is the name of the variable? Name, right? So I want to print that name as it is and score. Score is, right? So where is my score value is present? Inside the variable score. So inside the flower bracket, I can just directly mention the variable name. Correct. Then at the end, you have to put the double quotes. I mean, double quotes, you have to end the string with. So there is some name, age is not defined. Okay, sorry. What is a variable name? Score, not the age. So I'm trying to print the score, not the age of the polling. So this is the F string syntax. So how does it work? F string. First value should be F followed by double quotes. Customize your output inside the bracket. Mention the variable name, then end with the double quotes. So this is the syntax of your F string. This entire thing should come inside the printf statement. This is also one more way to print the output or customize your output. For example, I want to print some values, integer values. So, for example, I want to find the sum of these two numbers. And I want exactly the statement as sum of 10 and 20 is in that order I want. So I can write the sum of followed by what I want to print immediately, the value of x. So I can directly mention inside the flower bracket the variable name of x, then and the variable name of y is. Then inside that flower bracket itself, I can write the expression. So that is the advantage of F string. So F string can directly evaluate your expression inside the flower bracket. So you need not to store it in another separate variable. And finally, it should end with the double quotes. Okay. So here what I'm getting, the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. So this is the syntax. F followed by double quotes, the sum of 10, the whatever the variable name, x is as it is, I have to mention. Then y as it is, I have to mention. Suppose if you don't put the double quotes, that value will appear as it is, correct? Now it is printing sum of x and 20. So only within the flower bracket, it will be recognized as a variable value. This is another way to display your output or customize your output. So hope you understood till now whatever I have done. Any doubt till now? Yes, you can directly print x plus y, Neha, but you are learning the different ways of doing the things. So don't take the literal meaning of whatever I'm typing. Understand that I'm teaching you the syntaxes, how to use different features based on our requirement. I can understand that directly you can write x plus y also without doing much hard work. Print x plus y. This also works, correct? This also works, but I want the customized output like this. Okay, so that's the reason I'm doing it this way. Okay, sir, why didn't we get an error if f is there? Teja, I think you're not understanding what I'm explaining. The topic itself is F-string method. It is an inbuilt feature. If you want to customize your output using F-string method, you have to use F, then double quotes immediately. Okay. So, sir, if I have float number and I want to display only 2 digits, okay, after point in formatting using string method, then what I have to do? So now many people are getting these doubts, right? This is what your learning process should be. Now, different ways of printing, you have to trial and do the trial and error method basically. So whatever Harshit is asking, I think Harshit, you try it. If you are not able to do it, you come to me, because everything I don't want to cover or tell you the solution. I want you guys to be curious about what you are getting the doubt, but definitely it is possible. My suggestion is whatever doubt you are asking, it is possible. But I want you to try it. If you're getting error, and come and meet me, I will show you how to do it. If X and Y are strings, then the output should be 10 and 20. Yes, that's true. Yes, any doubt? Okay. So what until now what we covered is different ways of formatting your output using format method, percentage operator, and f-string method, correct? So f-string, as I'm suggesting, don't use it in modal. So try to stick to format method only. So this is a added knowledge. You can try it for your personal learning. Don't use this in modal. So next thing that you should be knowing basics is um, multi-line string. Basically, is also important. Multi-line string. Even I think I gave one question also based on this in modal. Suppose I have some variables. Okay, so you can write the advantage of using f string. So you can learn now. So I have 3 separate variables, and then now I want to customize this output into a single variable, right? That means I want to display a single message using f string or create a multi-line string. So you can use f string method for this purpose. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm using 3 double quotes at a time. Then line by line, I'm customizing. So then I will use the variable names as it is. Okay. Inside the lower brackets, you belong to, and what is the last variable? UINV. Then I'll just type it as it is, university. Okay. Then finally, I want to print this message. Now, what we are trying to do here is we are creating a multi-line string using a string method. So if you want to create a multi-line string, instead of single quotes, single double quotes, you have to use 3 double quotes, and you can write each string that you want to print along with the variables. You can write it on separate line. So all these things will be considered as a single string, right? So wherever you are using the variable name, that will be replaced with the actual value. So name is replaced with Akash, college is replaced with grade, then university is replaced with JNTU, right? F string also people use it to create the multi-line strings. So similarly, if you don't want to use F string, if you think, sir, it is very confusing, I don't want to use F string, then you can use a traditional way of doing it. For example, directly I'll write, then I will use escape sequences, whatever the escape sequences I want to. Then the last value should be always backslash, backslash. So now this is also a multi-line string without using F string. but you see there is a backslash added after each string except the last string. That indicates that we are still continuing with our string. It is not yet over. Suppose if I remove this backslash, you will get the syntax error. So what is the syntax error I'm getting? Unterminated string literal. So since you are trying to create a multi-line string, this is the syntax you need to follow. So every string, the last value should be backslash. Then the last line should end with a double quotes. Then that also can be considered as a single string. Correct? So these are the different ways to create a Python string. Similarly, it has a lot of other features also. I'll just give one more example for it. Let me take some number. Okay, so something I want to calculate using F-string. So F-string can embed a lot of equations or a code snippet itself. For example, I can write, this is called as a lambda expression. In coming sessions, you will come to know, not immediately, but once I start OOPS programming, you will come to know what is lambda expression. Right now, just see how powerful F-string is. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is, there is a number, correct? Then I'm trying to print the answer. This is my answer. The answer I'm getting is false. So this is the lambda expression, right? So F string is evaluating the entire expression, which I'm writing inside the floor bracket. So it will evaluate to true if the number is divisible by 2, else it will print the false, correct? So let me take the number as 42. Now I'm getting the answer as true. So you can embed complete code inside F string and you can customize your output in that way. So a lot of such features are there. So day by day, when you are exploring, you'll get to know how powerful the F string is. Similarly, if I want to do something like this, let me take a variable. Okay, so again, I'm using F string. So if you want to use F string method, first value should be F only. Then after that, double quotes compulsory. Then you can customize your output message. Now what I want to do is within flower bracket, what is my variable name? var. var dot. So there is an inbuilt function in Python called as upper. Then finally, so this has to be closed in here only. Now what it is doing within the flower brackets, var dot upper. So basically it is converting this character into uppercase. So all within a single line. So that's why people are using F string. So you need not to write a separate code or separate logic. Everything you can embed within print statement just by using the F string method. So everything that you write inside the flower bracket will be considered as a expression and it will be evaluated accordingly. Or if there is any supported library, it will evaluate to that particular library. Understood? So this is how you can use the F string method. Any doubt till now? Any doubts, guys? No. So hope these things you can use it in your basic codes that I've already given. Many people were telling, sir, we don't know how to format our output. A lot of things were not covered, but definitely based on today's session, you can at least execute first 10 questions with confidence because all of them cover these things, right? Okay, just a minute. just enable Moodle so that I'm going to take your model programs, whatever you solved today. The Moodle is not working. Can anyone check this Moodle is on or not? Server is off. Okay, it's logging in. Just a minute. Okay, hope my screen is visible. Okay, so how many of you solved these problems? I hope at least 4 to 5 problems you might have solved today. So you can see there is a multi-line string question is there. So based on today's session, you can execute this program. Yeah. So what you have to do is display the strings grit separately. Then you have exactly have to go /t tab space. Then enter name and print in reverse, declare multiple variables. I think this one I didn't cover. So basically what you can do is yeah. So you can directly declare variables like this, a comma b comma c, then the number of values that you want to print. Then here I'm using format specifier, right? So and I want exactly output like this. So 3 flower brackets I've used here, dot format. Then I mentioned the values, a comma b comma c. So you can read multiple values directly from the screen using this syntax, a comma b comma c equal to 23 comma 5 comma 2008. So here I'm separating each value by comma operator. So that is very important. So if you don't mention it, it will be considered as a single value. Again, you'll get a logical error. So similarly, string formatting. Here also, I want exactly this question mark double quotes as it is on the screen. So you have to use backslash operator before printing that double quotes, right? So try to apply today's session, whatever you understood on this question. Those who executed already, you can move to the next question. So inches to fleet, I will take some submissions. So many students have executed a person. Let me check his code. Right. So what is here is is getting the data from the input function, correct? Then he's dividing by 12 as I've given the hint that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So obviously you have to divide that by 12, right? So feet by inch, that is your formula. So you are reading the feet value and you are dividing it by 12, right? Then if you want to access the remaining values, that is the inches value. So what you have to do, h mod 12. So that will give you the remaining inches value. Then he is customizing using the string, basic string formatting. So he's not used any formatting, dot format method, but directly is using what? The F is printing, then feet and I. This I want exactly as it is on the output. Then again I, that value should come 8 inches, then separated by 6. So many people, if they don't want to use format method, this is the best way. Directly you can customize with the multiple strings, right? Any other person executed in different way? So let me check. So they have used a different formula here. I don't know why they have complicated it much here. So str of b. I will not explain this, but if you understood this, fine. So what is this str function? She is there. She can answer. Str of b plus feet and str of c plus inches. Why you need to make it a str of t? Is it mandatory? No. So that means it's unnecessary code. So unnecessarily we're putting load on the complexity of the program. So these are the unnecessary things which you can avoid. So that you can use B and C instead of str, right? So there is no need of this. So similarly, this is also same. Anyone executed in different way? Solution, you know. Yeah, I know when to end. So the session is still 8 o'clock. So I think I'm matured enough to know what is the time right now and when to end the session. So I don't want these unnecessary suggestions. For the multi-line string example, you have taken why you have used 3 double quotes. Yes, that is the formatting, because if you want to create a multi-line string, you have to compulsorily use 3 double quotes here. So yes, sorry. Similarly, so this is the another way. So instead of declaring the variable, directly you are putting the formula inside the print. So you need not to declare a separate variable and print it. You can directly put the formula inside the print. Compiler will take it as a value based on whatever the result is giving. That will be displayed as it is. So inches mod 12. I mean, this is a floor division operator. Why floor division operator here? Because I want to extract only the feet part, and the inch part I want to print separately. So 40 inches is nothing but 3 feet 4 inches. So floor division will only give me 3.4, it won't give me. So then again, to extract the decimal, mod we are using. So you know what is mod operator, right? So it will give us the remainder value. So inches by inches mod 12 and inches floor division 12. So directly you can write like this. So these are all the simple questions which you'll be able to understand and do it in your own way. But you should know what you are doing. Understanding is a skill, fundamental skill. So for power of 2 also, it's a basic question, right? So there are two ways to do it. Either you can use exponential operator or power function, inbuilt function. But my suggestion is when there is an inbuilt operator, you have to first give priority to the inbuilt operator, because the external function will put again load on your complexity. So unnecessary, you should not use external functions until and unless it is required. So only if it is required, you have to use it. So in this case, the second method is not necessary. So I can see a lot of submissions already. So that's a good progress. So almost 105 people have submitted their code. So I'll closely monitor this daily activities in Moodle. Then, as I told today's session and in this session, we will be conducting in future. We'll be conducting assessment tests. So, and that assessment test will be enabled only for the people who are regularly practicing in Moodle. So that based on that, we will give them some advanced content also. So if you're not practicing daily and if there is no improvement in Moodle, then people will not be eligible to write even that assessment also. So how many people are practicing? We will download the reports. I can check the grades also. Based on the grades, I will take the session. Right. So if you want to practice much advanced content, so next 1.5 month you have to continuously practice whatever the questions I am giving in Moodle. Okay. So like this, I can grade report. I will explore it, restore it, and I will check how many students on what day, what time they executed it. The consistency is important. Suppose one day you are executing all the code means we won't consider. So daily we will enable, I mean, after each session, we will enable some questions and we'll see how many people are practicing. So I want every student to take it seriously if you want to practice much advanced content or if you want to participate in the coding contest, which I'll be conducting in coming days. So only the daily practicing people will only be allowed to no, attend that contest or you want to be eligible to get the advanced materials or advanced coding problems. So this is the right time to do it sincerely. So don't ignore whatever they are teaching or whatever they are sharing in Moodle. And also uploaded a textbook. If you have seen, there is a textbook here. So open a textbook, whatever the sessions or the references that you want to take, learn from that based on what I'm explaining in the session. Much in detailed explanation will be there in the textbook. You can go through. Okay. Can you open X4? What is X4? Can you type what is the code you've done? Okay, so what is that? Is that fine? The flow that I'm teaching, or do you want me to slow down or go a bit fast from the next session onwards? So I want that feedback. Any suggestions, guys? Is the flow is okay, or you want me to slow down? Flow is okay. Bit slow, sir. Okay. So let me take the majority. Majority is flow is okay. Fine. So those who are feeling it bit slow, I mean, sir, we have want bit slow. What you need to do is while I explain only, you need to tell me or you need to post the message, right? That, sir, this topic I didn't understand. Repeat once again. So when I give the time for you to ask the question, I will repeat the topic. But I won't be checking the chat box when I'm explaining. Your job is to post a message in the chat box and I'll come back and check what is the issue you are getting. I'll repeat that topic. But slowing down suddenly or increasing the speed suddenly, it's a very bit tricky. So you'll guys understand when you start working, because one or the other day you will also become team leaders. You have to explain your knowledge to your colleagues. You know those things you'll know. But my suggestion is whatever doubt you are getting, post in the message chat box. Then I'll come back and address those issues. But flow suddenly it is not possible to reduce when I'm explaining. Sir, can you show the last code? Which last code, man? Okay, so the people can leave. Uh, if you are having any other queries, so the students can stay back. Other people can exit. So the next session will be on Thursday. So not tomorrow, Thursday. So until Thursday, you can practice the first 10 problems what I've enabled in the model. Everyone can practice. So I will close the model problems by Friday. I will post the message. So first 10 problems I will close by Friday. The upper code in Jupyter. Okay, wait. My charger is slow actually. Wait. So I will share this file also, so you can refer that content and practice. Yeah. No, generally from next week onwards, we'll be doing only through 2 sessions in a week, because even our training will also resume for your seniors. So it is a bit difficult to conduct 3 sessions, but generally 2 sessions every week. Definitely we will do it. Any other doubts? So Sai, what is that doubt you have? Instead of asking for the code, you can ask me what is the doubt you are getting in the code. Okay. So any other queries? I'll be available for another 2 minutes. Please let me know. Okay. So no, tomorrow we don't have class. I will post the message in your CR group. They will share it. Next class will be on Thursday. So Thursday we will start if condition loops. Then if possible, we will begin with the arrays also. Collections, arrays, a lot of topics are need to be covered. So we'll go slowly. So no need to hurry. Whatever you could grab today, you understand, practice them once again, explore the further what and all you can do it.